Hello everybody and welcome to the Lost City of Ungoro, cards review part number 5. And we got here a brand new legendary for Shaman. It's a 3 mana, 1 attack, 5 health called Baralma Seer Stone that says your elementals deal 1 extra damage. So means you need to play this on the board for the effect to work, and elementals doing 1 extra damage is quite interesting, and you could very much compare this with the priest minion that's been nerfed to 3 mana. And this one is a legendary. The priest minion, you can play 2 of them and it's not a legendary. And besides, the priest minion can do so much more damage than this one. This says elementals. That minion, any damage goes face is 1 extra damage. So basically this legendary is much weaker than the priest minion, but the priest minion is not available to play with in the standard format, which means this one has an advantage for being a newer card. But nonetheless, let's see some other cards for this. 5 mana, 3 attack, 4 health elemental dragon called Slag Claw, with a battle cry that reads summon 2, 1/2 Sigling Cinders. Kind Dread, trigger your Sigling Cinders Death Rattle. The Death Rattle is to do 2 damage to a random split to random enemy, meaning it's like you know, the mage spell I forgot the name of. Anyway, Sunset Valley or something, and it does damage face as well, so pretty much. And I remind you what it does. The minion should be elemental. Somebody says this minion should be elemental himself. It's not. Very interesting. So Kind Dread is an effect that means you need to play an elemental or a dragon before you play this, so it's active. Alright, moving on to another card for Shaman, 6 mana fire spell called Sizzling Swarm that does 3 damage and summons that many 2/1 Sizzling Cinders. When I first saw this card, I was like a little bit disappointed. I was like, what does this do? Wow, this is so weak. But actually, it's pretty powerful. If you combine it with this, it could do even more damage and be even more powerful. So, Sizzling Swarm, a quite intriguing card to play with. 4 mana, 2 attack, 5 health, elemental mech called Mechanized Magma that does whenever you play a fire spell, gain stats equal to its cost. We clearly had similar cards like this before, and they did not succeed that well because quite expensive they were. But this one is a little bit cheaper, and there's also a mech which could be potentially pretty useful in some scenarios. And I believe that this could make Elemental Shaman even stronger. 1 mana spell for Shaman called Mountain Map that says discover a minion with a type you haven't played. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others. So basically, potentially 1 mana discover 3 minions, or 1 mana draw 3 cards. Pretty powerful, I would say. I would say this is gonna be one of my favorite cards to play as a Shaman player. It's gonna be amazing. Mountain Map, amazing, beautiful, and super strong. A fire spell for Shaman that's 3 mana called Flight of the Firehawk that says draw 2 minions of different minion types, give them +2/+2. So basically, is Arcane Intellect that literally draws you a specific card, 2 specific cards potentially, and also buffs them +2/+2, which is quite powerful. Besides of that, this is also a fire spell, which could definitely synergize with so many elementals in Shaman, and Flight of the Firehawk is going to be included in every single Shaman deck that's playing elementals and fire spells, I guess. Potentially, maybe. So, 2 mana, 1 attack, 2 health, elemental Morlock called Cinderfan that will summon a 2/1 Sizzling Cinder. We already know what Sizzling Cinder does. It does 2 damage split among all enemies, which is quite powerful, and this Morlock is definitely gonna be in the deck. Potentially, this could definitely be in the quest Shaman, because this one is elemental and Morlock. We also have mech, and could potentially put in a bunch of cards to make up to the quest requirement, which is going to be pretty amazing. And here we got a quest Druid, Restore the Wild. 1-mana spell is a quest that says fill your board on 3 of your turns, which means you need to have 7 minions 3 turns, which means you're going to get the Everbloom. And Everbloom is a very interesting weapon. It's a 3 mana, 2 attack, 5 durability that says after your hero attacks, give your minions +2/+2. Minions on the board and not in the hand, don't be confused. And the Everbloom, it's quite a very interesting weapon that has 5 durability, meaning you can attack 5 times and make your board very nice. But do we have enough support for Token Druid? Let's find out. And this is also the signature version of the card. And this is the signature version of the weapon, which is the first signature weapon in Hearthstone. And it's looking absolutely phenomenal, and I love it. Looking so well detailed. AI could never, I guess. So, moving on to another Druid spell, the nature 5-mana spell called Hybridization. That says draw a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4 cost minion. Kindred, this costs 1 less. I was about to say this costs 1. Man, I mean, 4 mana draw 4 cards potentially, which means very good. And besides of the point, it's basically potentially 4 mana draw 4 specific cards, which has been proven that is ridiculously overpowered. This card will most likely make the deck. 3 mana, 2 attack, 3 health, called Hatchery Helper with a battle cry that says give your other minions with 2 or less attack +1/+2. Paladin has a specific card like this, which has been proven to be so useful, even Mage played it. So give your minions, give your other minions with 2 attack or less +1/+2, and taunt is going to be quite pretty powerful and very impressive. Hatchery Helper, such a strong token Druid card. 2 mana spell for Druid called Ravenous Flock. At the start of your next turn, summon 3/1 hatchling. I believe they don't have any effect, it's just a beast. But you know, 2 mana, summon 2/1 hatchling is pretty powerful because you'll definitely need this to complete your quest. So basically, a Ravenous Flock, it's going to help you so much. Here's a super cool new egg for Druid. It's a 3 mana, 0 attack, 2 health called Sky Screamer Eggs that will summon 4/1 hatchlings. Definitely going to help you so much to fill those boards in and complete your quest. And here we got another Druid card. It's a 4 mana, 5 attack, 1 health called Eternal Blood Petal with a that will summon a 0/1 Eternal Seedling, which I don't know what it does, but let's find out, shall we? Oh my goodness. We should find out soon, hopefully. 1 mana nature spell for Druid called Life Cycle. Destroy a minion, summon a random minion of the same cost to replace it. You could definitely use this on the egg. Whatever it is. There it is. Or you could use it on a big expensive minion you trade with. For example, could be like an 8/8 and it has 1 health remaining, and you could play this and basically renew that 8 cost minion for 1 mana. Which I think Shaman had a similar card before, but this one could be even more powerful. We'll definitely see play in this deck, Token Druid. And the last but not least, 5 mana nature spell called Trees. Choose a minion, summon 4/2/2 trees that attack it. We had a similar card like this before, but it was a 4 mana spell that was summoning 4/1/1 beasts. And oh, this one is sweet. Trees. Basically, you could combine trees with your own cards and make it even better. So, but of course, there's not going to be enough space. But nonetheless, 5 mana, 10/10. Sorry, 8/8. Don't get ahead of yourself, Chris. It's a 5 mana, 8/8. Okay. I mean, potentially it's even better than that because it could destroy an enemy minion as well. So pretty much trees is amazing. So all right, I just found out what Eternal Seedling does. So basically this minion is the 4 mana 5, 1 health with the death troll that summons this. Okay, hold on, not that, this, okay? So basically summons this when it dies, and then the death troll of this summons a 5/1 blood petal, which is going to repeat the same cycle again. Basically an immortal minion potentially. And you could use life cycle as well on it because it's a 4 mana card. So basically it's really awesome. Token Druid is definitely going to have a good time playing this expansion, right? So what are your thoughts on the new cards, guys? What do you think about those new cards? Which one is your favorite so far? And would you play Token Druid? Do you think Token Druid is pretty OP or it's just not good enough? And what do you think about the new cool, amazing, legendary weapon signature card, which is looking so neat and pretty? All right, thank you, pretty. Thank you so much for joining me today, and see you all in the next cards review. Goodbye.